Hello, 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 my friends. Kaitlyn here, and do you know how to text your crush? Yes, no, maybe so? I've seen a whole lot of fails out there, so let's try to take some of the mystery and anxiety out of talking to your crush in a textual setting. You know, the internet and cell phones and social media came along, and in theory, it should make our lives easier, right? Make us more connected. But in reality, it's just added a whole new layer of complication to flirting. How do you text your crush? How do you get your crush to text back? How do you keep a text conversation going on long enough to ask your crush out? So many questions. In this video though, I want to look at just how to start a conversation with someone via text or direct message, and depending on people's reactions and interest, I can make more videos on some of these other topics. Because you can't just go straight to, hey, I think you're cute, wanna be my girlfriend or boyfriend? Yeah, that's not gonna work out great for you. At least it never has on me. Let's start simple with something you need to ask yourself first, which is this someone you know or have talked to, at least briefly, in real life? It's okay if it's not, but it does add an extra creep factor that you have to overcome if you're going to approach someone that you don't know at all. But either way, you start with a hello and a reason for contacting them. Not just hey or what's up. No one is going to respond to just hey unless they are desperate for attention. You need more meat for the conversation. So the thing to do is, before you even think about contacting them, is to brainstorm some conversation starters. What do you know or think they might be interested in? Or what do you want to know about them? Or is there something that you could ask for advice or their opinion on? You'll also want to pick your style of conversation. Are you going to go with funny and quippy, or deep and philosophical, or just general interest where you're asking them tons of questions? Now, this depends on both your personality and theirs, so don't try to be a comedian if that's not who you are in real life. Play to your strengths, but also to what your crush might be interested in. Okay, once you've taken the leap and actually texted them, now you have to gauge the conversation as you go. How much are they responding? How long are their messages? Are they changing the subject or asking you questions back? This is where you have to stay level-headed and not freak out. Make sure you take your time between texts and really think about what you're saying. You don't have this luxury when you're having an in-person conversation, so cherish these moments. Then you plan your next step. Do they seem interested enough to ask to meet up, or wary or standoffish at all? What about future conversations, or maybe a text conversation that technically never ends? Never ends because it's been years and now you're married. Ah! And finally, a few notes. Know when to back off. No means no. I know this should seem obvious, but a lot of times with texting, lack of enthusiasm also can mean no. If they don't respond to you, you should stop contacting them. I would say after 3 tries. Also, don't send like 100 messages at once. Send like 1 or 2 as an invitation to chat, and if they don't respond, then wait like a week or 2 and try again. And if you contact them 3 times and they never respond, don't send them a last spiteful message to let them know what they're missing. It's just dumb. It makes you look like a jerk. Your biggest goal is really to make the other person feel comfortable talking to you. Texting is weird. We miss out on all the facial signs that humans are wired for, so it's harder to gauge people's interests and reactions. Using emojis is helpful, although sometimes just as confusing if we have different definitions for the same emoji. And you don't want to send like an eggplant, meaning, I could really go for an eggplant sandwich right now, when they think you mean something else. And last, don't be discouraged if they don't seem interested or say no, because texting is both the easiest and hardest way to experience rejection. Easy because you're not right in front of your crush, so you can process your emotions without witnesses, but hard because it's tempting to keep pestering a person until they say yes, or to say something mean from behind a keyboard when you're hurt. Don't be that person. Make the internet a better place for dating and just everything by resisting that urge. So hopefully some of this is helpful if you're trying to connect with your crush in the digital age. Us old geezers had to send handwritten notes and compete on how elaborately folded they were. Let me know down in the comments about your wins or fails with texting your crush, and any other questions you might have that you want me to make a video on. And as always, remember that you can check me out on these other social media sites, and if you haven't already, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you know the moment there's a new video. And I'll see you guys next Thursday. Bye!